Hey guys, this is Kami. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for the incredible support on the SRank guide video. The response has been amazing. And today, I'm going to answer some of the most common questions you all asked, including a deep dive on stats, especially wit, and of course, everyone's favorite topic, sparks. For all your PvP related questions, I'll be answering those in part 2, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Alright, first up, let's talk about what the 5 core stats actually do. Speed is your Uma's maximum velocity in the final stretch. Power is her acceleration and the ability to break through a pack. Stamina is like her health bar. If it hits 0, she slows to a walk. But here's the secret. No matter you have 1 or 1000 stamina left at the finish line, she would be okay. So you don't need to overstack it. And guts, well, it's like a minor stamina buffer, but honestly, we mostly ignore it in this scenario. Now let's talk about the most important and misunderstood stat. Wit. It does a lot more than you think. First, it governs skill activation, as most of you probably know. The more wit you have, the more reliably your skills will fire. As you can see in this table, the difference between 300 and 1200 wit might not seem huge for one skill, but when you have 10 skills, the math changes everything. You go from a tiny 2.8 chance to activate all your skills up to a more reliable 46%. Second, wit helps prevent your Uma from getting heated and rushes during the race, which wastes a ton of stamina and deduces lots of points in PvP. At 1200 wit, that chance drops to under 10%. Furthermore, wit also helps your Uma get a better place and helps you reach a higher speed during the race, which is especially important for front runners. So is 1200 wit that useless? Absolutely not. My recommendation is that you should keep your wit as high as possible when you reach the speed and stamina requirements. For the desired stats in each of the team trials range, I'll explain that in part 2. And now, let's move on to the most important topic you all asked about: sparks or inheritance. A lot of you said you're struggling to get good sparks, or that you don't even have a 3-star spark yet. Don't worry, I'm going to break down everything you need to know. First of all, before we talk about how to farm sparks, let's define what a good spark actually is. You'll see different colors of sparks: blue for stats, pink for aptitudes, green for unique skills, and white for regular skills and scenarios. For the blue sparks, power and stamina are usually the most valuable. Power is always useful for acceleration, and stamina lets you build for longer races without having to use a stamina support card. Speed sparks are less critical now because SRank gives us so much speed already. Wit sparks can be useful for very specific builds, but most of the time you'd rather have power or stamina. And guts, well, you can pretty much ignore gut sparks for now. For white sparks, the most important one is the URA Finale spark. It's a game changer. When it activates, it gives you a massive boost of 10 to 30 to both speed and stamina. If you see a parent with this, it's a huge bonus. So for most builds, your ideal rental is a parent with a high mix of high star power and stamina blue sparks and hopefully some URA Finals white sparks as a bonus. Okay, so how do you get these amazing 3-star sparks? There are a few key rules. To have a chance at getting a 3-star blue spark, you must raise that stat to at least 600 in a training run. At 600, you have a 6% chance, but if you can push that stat to 1100 or higher, your chance doubles to 10%, so you should make the stat as high as possible. For pink sparks, you need an A in that aptitude. For white sparks, you need to win the relevant G1 race or learn the specific skill. And for green sparks, which are a weaker version of a character's unique inherent skill, your UMA must be 3 stars or higher before you start the run. Now let's talk about the 3 main strategies for farming these sparks. First is the speed wit method, which you saw in my SRank guide. This is great for farming speed, wit and power sparks, since power increases naturally with speed training. Second is the average horse method, which is basically what Tadzuna asks you to do. Here you try to raise all stats except guts to that 600 threshold. It's a great way to get a wide variety of good sparks, but it can be harder to actually win the URA finals. Third is the long distance method. This is where you use a 3 speed 3 stamina or even a 2 speed 4 stamina deck to create a powerful stayer. This is by far the best way to farm for high star stamina sparks. Speaking of long range UMAs, I might do a full guide on them later, so subscribe and comment down below if you want to see that. And finally, ways to get good guest sparks. You can search for these in the top 100 clubs and PvP players, but also from the official Umamusume Discord. I hope this helped clear things up. This was part 1 of a Q&A, and in part 2 we're diving deep into the PvP metagame, talking about team composition for Team Stadium and how speed wit perform in it. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on so you don't miss it. If this video helps you out, please leave a like and share the video. It really helps the channel grow. And let me know in the comments what's the best spark you've ever gotten. I'd like to see what you guys are working with. If you have other questions for me to answer in part 2, feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.